Hello, sisters, and welcome back. It's been a couple of days since I last connected. I have been sitting with the grid the last couple of nights doing some energy sends through the grid. I sent you guys a picture of your grid, right? I'm going to double check on that. I had mentioned that Friday night I would be doing a fire ceremony and had every intention of that. We had wicked winds, like I don't even know what the gusts were up to. It was not the right time to do the fire ceremony, so I will be doing that today. It is Saturday, the 23rd of March. And through today and tomorrow, there will be a fire ceremony. There'll be probably another message or two coming, and then another healing send with the crystal grid. So thank you all again for being here, and thanks for your patience through this process. Thursday night, after I shared some messages with all of you, I facilitated a goddess circle here locally. On my way home, my car died. I knew it was going to happen. It happened close to home, thank goodness. And I have been on the road today, first of all, for a hockey tournament at the arena at 9 o'clock this morning, and back there at 8:30 tonight. And in between that, have gone and picked up the part that I need for my car. It's an alternator. And I have someone from the local community coming over to install it for me in a little while. So I'm really, really grateful for that. So again, thank you for your patience with the process these days. One more. So I am guided to work with the Magdalene energy and bring through some messages. And as we've been chatting here, I have been pulling cards. Perfect. Okay, so the first card that we received, the guidance that's coming through from the Magdalene Sisterhood, which we are all a part of, the Sacred Sisters, is transformation. So this is a time of immense transformation for all of us. And I've been reading the comments back, and many of you have felt supported by the messages. Many of you have reached out to me privately with respect to anger and anxiety that you've been experiencing. So please know that this is natural. And I've had a little bit yesterday, which was Friday, particularly as the day went on, I was starting to feel some agitation. More than anxiety. It was agitation, irritation, and interestingly enough, it was directed at my current situation. That's where I felt it coming from. So I was feeling myself getting a little bit angry and annoyed with Frank for not taking care of things, having paperwork in place that would support my transition, my grieving process, in being more about simply grieving and less about what's going to happen to us. And then as I was laying in bed last night, that energy shifted a little bit because I felt his presence very strong with us once again. And I felt his, I don't want to say remorse because I don't feel that it's remorse. I felt his care and concern for me, and his received reassurance from him that it's going to work out and everything's going to be okay. So then I just became overwhelmed with emotions. So again, whatever it is that is your current experience, just, allow yourself to feel the whole range of emotions that eventually get to the root. My greenhouse thumb, it's very sore. I got cut this week at work. So just allowing yourself, just one moment here. Sorry, I just heard my garage open and I see it's Jacob and his friend getting his friend's hockey equipment. So just allowing yourself the range of emotions to feel what you need to feel, so that as you move through them, you actually get to, again, that unhealed pain, the pain that sits underneath the agitation, the anger, the irritation, and all of that, because it always does come back to that pain. And we can transform our pain through unconditional love. And this is truly our power, solar plexus power. The transformation is really as we shift from this paradigm of judgment. And this really feels like, again, it always comes back to self. For those of you that have been traveling with me for a while, you know that it always comes back to the self. But the self-judgment is almost self-crucifixion. Right? We judge ourselves, we're crucifying ourselves over and over and over again for perceived sins or the things that we have done wrong. And it's really time to shift this from the judgment and crucifixion through, again, self-love, compassion, understanding, so that this crucifixion is no longer an energetic existence for each of us. And it's really supports the transformation, right? And if you're judging others, 100% you are judging yourself on some level. So the transformation is taking place through these energies, the judgment and the crucifixion, through the energies of the idea that we're either a saint or a sinner. We are both. And I don't really care so much for the sinner terminology, because everything that we do, and even the saint, it's like we're divine humans, and we have come here to have the full range of experience, to have the full range of experience, so that we can really embody and get back to that idea that joy is our birthright. And this saint sinner, I feel like a part of it is to understand, if we want to think in those terms, that we're both. We're not one or the other. We are both. And this is where the judgment comes in, you see, because we've been told that certain things are bad and that other things are good. And we know that for ourselves, what are admirable qualities and what perhaps aren't. And so, we can stop harshly judging either energy, and we can just move into, once again, the acceptance that we are all of these things. And when we let ourselves off the hook, and I believe this was spoken about the other day, like we continue to crucify ourselves time and time again. And so we live within that wheel of karma. And it's really important for us to, come off of that wheel and move into that spiral of grace through your truth and your understanding of truth, through the inner eye, through the cleansing tears, through just really being the embodiment of the divine human. I love that this card came up, because this was a strong energy in the goddess circle the other night, was this energy of unhealed pain. And where a lot of the pain comes from, the unresolved emotional pain, is through our sexuality, through our sex conduct. And it's really important to once again understand that we are here for the full-on experience. And sacred sexuality, if we were taught from the beginning that sexuality was sacred, we may have far less wounds to deal with at this time. Yet we can't change the course of what has happened in the past. It's really important for us to come to this understanding now that sexuality, connection with another, divine union with another is meant to be a pleasurable and empowering experience, not meant to inflict wounds or trigger unresolved pain. Because when we are engaging in male-female relations, that we are, as females, we are allowing that man to enter our physical body, and depending on the level of consciousness of our chosen partner, we are either being uplifted and healed, or depending on our level of healing that we have done, emotional healing throughout this lifetime, we may be having our wounds triggered through the connection with the divine masculine. And although we are all divine masculine and feminine, some of us have to admit that we have had lower energetic connections with men in our life. So it's really important. I love that this card came up, because it's really important, I feel, for us to get to the emotional wounds and to clear those. And if we are engaging in sexual relations with another, that we are doing so for the upliftment of both, for the pleasure of both, for the and it's not just about sex and the orgasm. It's the whole experience, the connection, the touching, and everything like that. And if we don't have partners, it can also be about really embracing the divine feminine that we are, and really embracing our sexuality, our sensuality, and doing things to support that, whether it's through sacred movement and dance, whether it's through, self-care practices, whether it's through touch of your own physical body, just really making sure that those connections are nurturing, safe, supportive, and uplifting. And finally, we received the message of little children. And this really feels, again, to me like your inner child, allowing your inner child to come out and play. And it also is speaking to me about those previous cards that we've received, the judgment, the crucifixion, saint and sinner. It's like we can't change what our experience may have been as a child, as a young adult. What we do now is shifting the experience for those who are yet to come, the generations yet to come, the children that are in our life today. And I keep hearing, let your inner child come out and play, and get out and enjoy each and every day. Enjoy the journey and the process of being human. We're here for a good time, not a long time. And so just a little kiss of love from our higher selves as we close these messages. I trust something here has felt supportive and resonates for you in the now moment that you are receiving the message. I'm feeling 3 cards, they're saying. So that's 2 and there's 3. Okay, so it's really time to let go of regret. It's time to let go of what could have been, what should have been. And this feels like a beautiful message for me, especially how I started these messages, speaking about, my irritation last night, particularly directed toward Frank. And, you know the story. We don't need to go into that. It's really time to let that go, letting go of regret, letting go of fear of the unknown, what is to come. Everything in this experience has been divinely orchestrated, and we had a hand in that. And regret will only have us feeling sad and down and depressed. And we have too much to live for to spend too much time in that energy, because we are here to shine. And we are here to overcome difficult situations and challenges. And I would suspect that everybody within this circle certainly has overcome a number of difficult challenges. And it is through our ability to overcome our circumstances, our situations, that we actually become the finest teachers, the greatest healers, the beautiful channels of light, the messengers of creator energy here on this earth plane. We got new direction and speak your truth. And I love the imagery is very similar on both cards. This, speaking our truth, again, it takes courage to speak our truth. It takes courage to stand confidently in our truth as we share it, because we may not be speaking mainstream language. We may not be having a popular, what do I want to say? A popular, what we're saying may not be popular. That's right. It may not be popular opinion. And that as we continue to speak our truth, as we continue to release and let go of regrets, and I feel like this fire ceremony may be this afternoon. I'm just waiting for the wind to calm down. It's not too windy right now, but I am feeling that it's going to support the transformation of this energy into gratitude, because I really feel that we are called to be grateful for everything we have and everything we've experienced, good, bad, and otherwise. And again, those are just labels of all of that. As we speak our truth, though, we become more heart-centered, particularly if we're speaking our truth from our heart. And this takes us in a new direction. It opens up new pathways. And as we let go of the regrets and the fears and the doubts, new pathways, new directions open up for us. Perhaps one that's always been there and we haven't seen because we've been too content to hold on to regret, to hold on to past pain, to hold on to woulda, shoulda, couldas. That doesn't really support this. So through the acceptance of our truth, we are able to speak our truth through our heart space and move forward on this new path, this new direction. And I feel like by the time we hit the Aries new moon, which is April 5th or 6th, I feel that for many of us, new directions will have opened up. We will be seeing things a little bit differently than we do currently today on March 23rd. So that's about a 2-week window of time where there's going to be rapid transformation, is what I'm hearing, and rapid releasing of, rapid movement through the range of emotions, anger, irritation, fear, sadness, right? Grief, pain, it's all coming up, and it may move through these various levels to get to the pain that wants to be released. Allow yourself the space. Give yourself permission to do that. This card says there's nothing sadder than looking back on some part of your life with regret, wondering what you could have done but did not do. Go for it. Sometimes it's better to try and fail than to not try at all. All is not lost. You still have time to turn this situation around, and the situation is your life. That's what I'm hearing. The situation is life. You have time to turn your life around, particularly if you feel like it's been turned upside down. Particularly if you feel like you've been going in the wrong direction, or this isn't really the path you chose. It is. And it's up to you through free will, solar plexus chakra, through free will choice to change directions. Let go of fear and apprehension and follow your heart, right? And prominent on both of these cards is the heart. Stand up for what you believe in, regardless of consequences. Speak your truth, regardless of what others may think. It's time to stand in your own power and shine for all the world to see. We've been waiting for your light. And new direction. Life may seem like a whirlwind at the moment, yet there is divine order to the present circumstance. What may appear as chaos is often the angelic forces of the universe at work. After the storm clears, you will be steered in a new direction, a time of renewal, renewed health, joy, and abundance. Beautiful, beautiful. And I feel that that time we will be feeling more of that frequency and vibe by the time of our Aries new moon. So I'll be back with you again soon. Thank you for being here. Again, I trust you have felt loved and supported through these messages. Take what you like and leave the rest with love. No judgment here. Just plain and simple sharing from the beautiful heart space that resides within me. So until, it was 21:12. Yeah. So until next time, sisters, I'm sending you wave upon wave of love, light, respect, and gratitude. Thank you so much for shining your love light in my life.